A project at Purdue is striving to make students and faculty more comfortable on campus. News 18's Brad Oppenheim reports what the project is doing and how it's aimed at helping people speak their minds.
When people think of diversity, they might think of race or culture, but diversity goes far beyond that. Drew Mallory is a co-lead for the Purdue Identities Project, and he says there's a common misconception as to what diversity really is.
I think there's this myth that we buy into that Purdue and the greater Lafayette area is not very diverse. And I think that that comes from a faulty understanding of what diversity is.
The project was launched just a few months ago and is aimed at increasing diversity on campus, retaining diverse talent already there, and increasing the quality of life for those who represent diversity. While some identities are evident, like a physical disability or age, some are not. And those working on the project are trying to target the identities of people that might not be known and aren't necessarily evident, such as LGBTQ individuals, those with concealed disabilities, and racial minorities whose minority status isn't obvious, just to name a few.
We recognize that many people have multiple identities, and whatever those identities are, we want to make sure that people feel comfortable disclosing them.
Ann Victor is a student at Purdue, and she has also been working on this project. She took part in the project herself and revealed some of her own hidden identities.
If I can share something and then someone else can relate to it or feel more open about talking, then I'm really glad to just do it.
During the process, the individual goes in front of a camera where they are recorded and asked a series of different questions. Victor says throughout the 20-minute interview, she felt comfortable and just spoke her mind.
I was able to just freely talk. So I think that's what gave me peace too. Like, I wasn't interrupted, I wasn't judged. Like, whenever in the past I have talked about it, people would like stop me or just have this face that would tell me what they actually think.
As of right now, those involved with the project have met with 70 different offices and programs who have played a role in the initiative. And at some point, Mallory says there are plans to incorporate the project into curriculum at the university.
We'll be in the fall piloting a number of evidence-supported modules and curricular activities that right now will be used in the Psych 120 courses. That's your standard intro to psych. Quite a few students take those.
But for now, Mallory says the project has been touching the lives of hundreds of people.
I think the greatest metaphor was one of my students said, you may have a label for that jar, and that's great. It helps you identify what the jar is, but you don't actually know what's inside until you unpack it.
Reporting in West Lafayette, Brad Oppenheim, News 18.